What is up, guys? Slasher here. Today we're going to take a look at a blast from the past, well, the near past. We are going to take a look at U7 Son Goku. Now, why do I think it's worth taking a look at this? I believe that the deck has a lot of value still today for what it can do. It is a bit of a gamble, of course, because you're milling cards from the top of your deck, but I do think it has a lot of power. So without further ado, let's get into it. We have quite a few counters overall, 60 card deck, and I think it's got a lot of power. So let's start with what you can do turn 1. Turn 1, you can mill with your leader's ability. You're going to probably get 4 in your drop. Hopefully at least of them will be probably around 3 U7s because we run quite a lot of U7s in total. Turn 2, you want to do the same thing as well, more or less. You want to be able to mill again, and then at that point you probably have enough, and if not, that's okay. During your defense turn, you can also do that. You can, boost with some cards from your hand. Very easy to do. So turn 1 and 2, you're not really drawing a heck of a lot, but it's still pretty good overall. Turn 3, you can play your Unison, and then at that point as well, if it was a later game, to get your Awaken, you can now Awaken then, which is kind of better in some ways, because you don't want to completely tap yourself out at turn 3. It's usually quite an aggressive time of the game. But you have a lot of defense too, because when your leader is awakened and you are tapped out, with Baby Juvenile Parasite, you get plus 1k to your leader. So that's even more defense. And now you're open to having your counterplays from Videl, Yamcha as well, and Wolfang Fists to get rid of cards ignoring barrier that are 15k or less, which is awesome. And then, turn 3, so you play your Unison, easy enough done. You can also just tap yourself out if you wanted to, and then just play like Golden Frieza or Android 17, so you get some more draw. Turn 4, you just want to go aggressive. Just play, the Hyper Speed Rush. You get to draw 1, 15k double strike. You got your Super Saiyan Broly, which will be a 25k critical because you're Servant. You get plus 10k. And then you give your leader Overlord, or minus 15k a card. But I would recommend giving your leader Overlord. That way you can just choose your card, place it at the bottom of your deck, and you get to draw 1, which is an extra great benefit for drawing. And then, turn 5, you either want to play your Ultra Mastery, or you want to play your, of course, Unbridled Power Ultimate, if you have it. If not, you can always run a 4th copy of Ultra Mastery, just for a bit of a cheaper build. I think tips overall, your leader is sparking 20 in order to use the ability to grab a card from your drop and add it to your hand. So the best thing to do at that point is, if you're going just super aggressive with all your little 1-drops, grab a super combo from your drop, add it to your hand, just keep boosting. Just extra draw, extra damage, just be aggressive. If you're versing a slower paced deck, don't use your Awaken turn 2. Probably try go turn 3. That way you can play your Unison and still have some defense as well. And what would I say the pros and cons? I'll put them somewhere here so you can check it out. But I do believe this deck has a lot of power right now. We have quite a lot of draw still, but it doesn't really open to around turn 3 mostly. Turn 1, you can swing with your leader. You get to draw 1, which is great. But when you've awakened, then you can also use your activate main again to draw 1, and then place up to 3 cards from your top of your deck to your drop. We have the Hyper Speed Rush for draw. We have the Broly. Once you've attacked with it, you can draw. We've got the Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta. Sparking 10, you pay 2, and now you choose 2 of your opponent's cards, minus 15k ignoring barrier, which is awesome, and you get to draw 1, which is great. The counter play from this, if you minus a card that is already 15k and it hits 0, then you get to draw a card. And then Android 17, top 3, grab a U7, which is awesome. And then we got some cheap counters as well from here, because when you burst with your cards, if this goes in the drop and you want to use this, all you have to do is discard 1 card from your hand and pay 1 energy, and you can play this from your drop, which is amazing. And then it negates the attack, and minus 15k is one of their card. And then for Unisons and counterplays, we have the 4 babies. Great card overall. You get to draw one with the effect, and you can choose one of their cards up to one, which is great. So if there is no hits, you can still draw one and use the ability. You can place it under this card, and then you get plus 10k on this card for the turn, which is awesome. And then 3 Videls and 1 Yamcha. Reason being is, instead of 4 Videls, we want the 1 Yamcha because it is extra damage. It is a 15k card. And then we run the Black Smoke Dragon as well, which is great. You can, ignoring barriers 7 or less their cards. If you and your opponent have 7 or more cards in your drop, then you can draw 2, which is great. So you can also mill 3 more cards in your drop if you need to, which is good. And then you can also target a unison that's 2 or less with 7 or fewer markers, and then just get rid of that card. We also got some Koitzakais in here for some extra attack. Just because if they try to play any counterplay battle cards, this is just going to punish them even more if they try to. And then we also have a bit of Z deck, but as I said earlier, we're probably not going to be looking at this as much. Just because you want your cards in your drop and not your Z energy. And if you were going to play this, it's probably going to be around like turn 4 once you have enough in your drop. And then we have the side deck. So these are more just other options, what you could use or play in the deck. So there's an older build for this where you can run the skillless engine where you get to draw. So we would run the Gohan, and then from this limit 1 ability, if you boost with the skillless, you get to draw 1. So let's say we boost with the Vegeta in the deck, or the Piccolo, or the Goku cards that are all Universe 7. So we boost with that. We have the Gohan on the field. We also boost with this in our hand. So now we get to draw 2 off that ability already. And then because we have 2 cards in the combo area, you could play Divine Presence, a classic. And for other choices as well, we have Testing Opposition. If you need just better negates overall, if you're just not finding it enough, and they're kind of free to play, because when you awaken, you don't have to go down to like 5 lives or 6 lives. You can easily use your lives as defense, which is really good. And that's why we run 4 copies of After Image Technique. And we have Shinron for a unison choice as well, because if you verse, let's say, Vegeta Trunks, they have their Trunks blocker on the field, and they're more than likely not going to be attacking with it. So you can just choose that card that's in active mode and then attack battle cards in active mode, which is awesome. We also have Spirit Mentor, which is just a hard play for 3. Choose one of their cards ignoring barrier and minus 30k if you need to, instead of Black Smoke Dragon. We also have the Kaioken Son Goku, and that one is pay 2, get rid of a card that's 25k or less ignoring barrier, which is just great as well. Though I do think Black Smoke is a better choice overall, just because minus 25k and sometimes minus 30k, not only is it an expensive investment for your energy to play, you're more than likely probably still not going to get rid of their boss monsters. So you're probably just going to be defending anyway to try and survive that attack, and then you're just going to be going aggressive yourself, which is going to be great. And then, of course, for another cards we have from the new set, the Frieza Pride of an Emperor. This becomes a 2 cost. Unfortunately, we can't use the Warriors Universe 7 ability at the bottom, but we can still use the other ability, which is if your leader's Universe 7, when this card is played, draw 1, choose one of your opponent's battle cards, and he gets minus 25k power for the turn, which is awesome. And then you have another choice instead of Broly, and you want to use a bit of your Z battle cards, you can run the Defeating a Demon, which is a great card. It's kind of busted for red, but it's very expensive right now. On Card Market, they sell for around 20-25 euros, if not more now. And Surging Attack is around 16 euros, and it gives you a bit of draw. And if you had it like turn 1 or 2, you can already play this on turn 2, which is great. So yeah, this is the deck. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you wish to. If you like the video, like it. If you don't, you don't. Thanks for watching. Peace.